Hello and welcome to the Man Games. This is another episode of Fun with Figures. Today is a special episode because we are looking at some of the TNA figures. So who shall we start with today? We will start with a Chris Sabin figure. Big fan of Chris Sabin. Not a big fan of this figure though, I'm afraid. Just don't really like the way some of it moves. It's a bit stiff around the shoulders there. You can't, there eventually it moves. I believe this figure did come with a Kevin Nash. I think it was Kevin Nash, and it says Nash on the chest. Might be wrong there. Yeah, the first line of TNA figures weren't great. The later ones were a lot better. But you know, at least there's figures out there. You know, figures are better than no figures at all. So yeah, Chris Sabin there. Next one today we're going to look at is Scott Hall. Now, it's a good figure. I don't necessarily like it when figures have glasses on. You know, I know being separate you're going to lose them, but other than Orange Cassidy, who wrestles in sunglasses, yeah, I don't really like the Scott Steiner tattoo there on the chest. It kind of just like looks like it's been painted on. Kind of looks like, you know, Jeff Hardy has painted his chest before his match. So yeah, I'm just spinning around. You can see the detail there on the back. I don't think he's going to stand up by himself, so we'll just turn him back. So yeah, other than the glasses and the tattoo, it's not a bad figure. The same again. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a bit stiff to move the upper arms. But you know, maybe he's like that in real life. You know, never met Scott Steiner, so I'll never know. Next up, we have a Hernandez figure. Yeah, I like the Hernandez figure. I think later on they did bring out a better one. That's more tattoos. Obviously, you got tattoos later on. So this is the Supermax version. That's why it says SM on the boots. It says Hernandez there on the back. I think later on it got more detail added to it. It's not a bad figure. I think they could have made more of effort, maybe a facial expression. But maybe that's just me being picky. So yeah, you can see the tattoos there and there. Another one there. Unfortunately, half of that tattoo is missing from the joint part to the arm. But yeah, it's good figure. Just I think they could have put maybe more effort into the face of the figure. Next up today we have Jesse James, Road Dogg. Here he was called BG James. In Free Live Crew with Conan and Ron Killings. Ron Killings later became R-Truth. Yeah, good figure. You can see tattoo on the arm there. If you turn him around, there's tattoo on the back of his head. Yeah, I think this came with a Ron Killings figure as well, I believe. He had a blue jersey, the R-Truth figure, or Ron Killings figure. Yeah, so like, yeah, this figure's got a good facial expression, more than the Hernandez one we've just looked at before. That you can see there's a tattoo on the back of his neck there as well. So yeah, that is BG James or Road Dogg. Next up we have Desmond Wolfe, or you might know him now as Nigel McGuinness in NXT colour commentator. I honestly thought that Desmond Wolfe was going to be a real big deal in TNA, but I don't know if it was Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan coming in, but it just didn't seem to go the way I thought he was going to go. He started off with a good feud with Kurt Angle, but yeah, the rest is history, I suppose. Turn him around, you can see their Wolf there on the back. The arms are, yeah, these arms are a little bit stiff, not as bad as the other ones there. So try and move the knee pad up there if it will move. So yeah, that's Desmond Wolfe. Next up, now we have Kevin Nash figure. So I don't think this is the one that came with the Chris Sabin. As I said before, I think the Nash was in red writing, but I might be wrong. You can see the tattoos there on the arm. Same again though, I think this figure, you know, the arms move a bit funny. But yeah, one good thing about the TNA figures we should mention is these ones are a bit more to scale. So obviously you put the Chris Sabin one next to it, and you can see the height difference. So that's what you want. It really annoys me when say you get a Kevin Nash figure and the Chris Sabin's the same size. It's just it's just not the same, is it? No, this Kevin Nash figure's in good condition. I know it's been played with a lot. So I mean, maybe the first lot of TNA figures didn't maybe look that great, but this seemed to have lasted quite long. So yeah, that's Kevin Nash. Next up we have Alex Shelley. I think this figure came with a camera and tripod. He was doing a gimmick at the time with Kevin Nash where he was filming stuff. I believe he stalked Sting when Sting came back to TNA. He was showing Jeff Jarrett a load of videos that Sting was getting back into. Well, in his mind he wasn't getting back into wrestling, but Eric Young was saying that he was. So yeah, this is the Alex Shelley figure. So speaking of Eric Young, next up we're going to have Eric Young. Now I actually really liked Eric Young at this time when he was the leader of World Elite. He was a global champion at the time. I don't think the global championship came with this figure, unfortunately. I went to see a TNA house show and he was the global champion at the time. But they were filming, or should I say the dates were blocked together, and so I went the third day and he'd already lost the belt to Rob Terry. It's probably not a name you hear a lot these days. Don't really know what Rob Terry's doing now. But anyway, back to the figure. Good figure though. Obviously, I'm not sure if they did make one later on, with the beard and a bit more hair. I think for a figure wise, the later one would be a better one than this one. Not that there's anything wrong with this one, just there's not a lot going on really. We'll just check the joints there, see if yeah, that's not too bad. He moves around quite well. So yeah, that's Eric Young. Next up today we have a Jay Lethal figure. Now, same again, it's a shame that this Jay Lethal figure isn't when he first became Black Machismo in a lot more of the gimmick of Randy Savage. But no, it's still a good figure. I have actually met Jay Lethal. He was a really nice guy. He was just packing away as we went to get an autograph. But he got his stuff back out and signed it, and he said to us, "Do you want a picture?" So we all got together and had a picture. He made the extra effort to come and stand with us. He didn't just lean over the table like some people do. He properly made the effort to to be that extra bit kinder. So yeah, that's something we'll always remember. So yeah, good figure in good condition. Next up we have the Abyss figure. Now this Abyss figure came with Abyss's mask in in a special set. You know, some sets you get 2 figures. Well, this was a mask and Abyss figure. In that range as well, there was a Sting and like a mask of Sting. Yeah. So yeah, I thought maybe you can move the legs and it did something, but it doesn't. So yeah, you can see the tattoos there. Yeah, it's not. Could be a bit more to scale, to be fair, but you know, it's still a good figure, good condition. So yeah, that's Abyss. Next up, we have a tag team. It is Team 3D, or the Dudley Boyz, as they are known. Bully Ray's been known as a few things. You know, Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, Brother Ray, Bubba. Devon's been known as just Devon, Brother Devon, Reverend Devon. I actually quite like the Devon, Reverend Devon gimmick, should I say. I might have been one of the only ones that did though. You can see the tattoos there on the arms. It's a bit stiff on the chest. Don't want to break it, but yeah. So yeah, that's Devon. Bubba Ray, a bit slim for Bubba Ray. I mean, I know he did lose a bit of weight later on. But yeah, to me that's just too slim for a Bubba Ray. So yeah, that's Team 3D. So next, a lot of people say Team 3D are the best tag team, but this is my favourite tag team in TNA. Bare Money. Unfortunately, Robert Roode, or Bobby Roode, has lost an arm. You have to try and find that somewhere if it's about. These are in well played with condition, but I think these might have been the first TNA figures I bought my nephew, so yeah, so that's why they've been well played with. Obviously these were both TNA World Champions as well, so they will have been extra played with more, as they were, you know, tag team and both single stars as well. So yeah, that's your Bobby Roode figure. And that is your James Storm figure. And lastly, on the TNA episode, we have a Matt Morgan figure. Now, Matt Morgan, in my opinion, is someone that was very underused in TNA. I mean, they did use him, just not necessarily the right way. You know, I think he could have been a world champion. His match with Kurt Angle at Bound for Glory is one of my favourite Morgan matches. So yeah, good. Well, it's not really a good tattoo, but it looks good on the figure on the back there. So it's maybe one of the worst wrestling tattoos. You can see the tattoo there on the arm. There's a slight bit missing there from the joint going into the figure. There's a little bit of wear and tear on the head there, and a few marks on the face, but still in good condition. So yeah, that is Matt Morgan. So that is it for today's episode of the TNA figures. Please leave a comment and let us know what you thought of the video, ways you can improve the channel. Also go out and check out the 2K20 videos on the channel, and there is also WrestleCrate unboxing video up, so yeah, make sure you go and check that out. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, it really does help. The more subscribers we get, the better content we can put out there. So that is everything for today.